water because I'm going to get all the playtime, and he's just going to sit in the corner and watch.
You say you pat him back and forth. It's like Brian, like Duke's like, toss the otter at me. I'll toss him back. He like Brian tosses Chase at Duke, and he just gets like thrown against the wall. He just like bashes both Duke and Chase into the wall.
Just
like,
obliterates
Duke throws Chase to Brian, and then Brian just runs off with him. He's like, mine now. More time for you.
Duke bares his teeth in Leo's direction.
Been trying to wipe it off your face this whole time, because your cute little face, I just want to wipe it and make sure it's all clean. But now it turns out this is all I needed to do. The most obvious thing I could have possibly done, I didn't do, which is threaten a loved one.
Mm-hmm. Duke gestures at me.
Come on, you can load. Duke gestures at me. See, that's a line that definitely made it to Welcome to Echo. For some reason, otters are always referred to as their job. So Grandpa Chase is the wheel otter.
Sounds good.
He's the wheelman.
Yeah.
So that means Chase is just a little prostitute.
Yep.
Well, I mean, he's got Samuel Ayers guiding the way.
He is Leo's fuckboy.
But I do just like that as a term of just like, oh yeah, because like you wouldn't say this with like people. You would be like, your little fuck, brace of persons. Like, no. But apparently in this world, that's just this kind of speciesism that's okay to say it casually, and no one bats an eye.
So in the intro, it's the clown otters.
Yeah.
Leo closes his eyes and shakes his head.
Why are you here?
He mumbles it, almost to himself.
I wonder, could it be that he loves you and also wanted to protect you? Nah, I'm Duke. I don't understand domestic relations. Man, I'm gonna beat you more.
Duke leans closer to the wolf.
And that honestly sounds more like a Brianism instead of a Dukeism. Why didn't you run if you got away?
Leo opens his eyes and he's looking straight at me. I don't know if he expects me to answer, but the look of defeat on his face somehow makes me feel like I have to.
Well, Leo, I've got these short little otter legs. I'm not going to be able to run very far. I mean, I just go thump, 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 thump. But we wanted to save you, but we didn't know where you were. Let me indirectly tell you that there's a second person on the loose in your house. Where you were, what was happening? Because looking in a basement window where there clearly lights were on, why would we do that?
Duke suddenly leans away from Leo towards me. His eyes narrowed.
We? Who's we? I mean, I've got a mouse in my pocket that's my friend, my only friend, but who's we?
His mouse is with his only friends.
We got Lenny.
I feel my stomach drop as I realize what I've just done.
I mean, all of us. I saw some of my friends there before I came, but I'm all alone. This will clearly work. This is a totally believable lie that he will believe instantly.
Duke studies me closely, then nods dumbly.
We used Detective Carl's, investigation skills between joints and, followed the clues.
We played Clue.
He was like, what?
There's that Bluey helping them.
Cheese man.
Or whatever it is, Blue's Clues. There's the evidence. Well, it's right there.
To be fair, Brian's palms are probably, that slimy and sweaty that he just leaves handprints everywhere.
Yeah, I could just imagine, like, Blue's Clues in Carl's house. Where's the joint? There it is!
Where's my lighter? I guess we gotta go looking. Doot, doot, doot. Was there anyone else up there, Brian? You know, now that we've got this smoking gun, and I am gonna actually be smart for one whole sentence.
Brian is sulking behind me, letting go of my shoulder occasionally to rub at his chin.
Didn't see nobody except this otter.
Duke looks up at the ceiling, like he's listening for footsteps or something. Duke snaps his attention back to Leo, and I notice his face is practically dancing with twitches and ticks.
This is crazy.
Leo enunciates each word through gritted teeth, his muzzle lowered so that he's looking up at Duke eye to eye.
Look at this.
Yeah, Duke must be short because Leo's sitting down and he's still eye to eye.
Mm-hmm.
So Duke must be a little tiny weasel.
You know, I was just thinking, like, Duke evolved. If those are like Pokemon, Duke evolves, and he grows up to be a honey badger, and Brian's just like,
No, I think he's already evolved to his final state. You know, after Duke unlocked Meth Addiction.
yeah. Duke had like a 3-stage evolution. It was like Little Duke, and then Mary Duke, and then Meth Duke.
Oh no, I'm just thinking of like Space Station 13. One video they found that you could there was like a gun you could get, and if you shot somebody with food, they'd eat it. So you can force feed people. So just
sounds
imagine,
like a Rick and Morty gun.
Yeah, you force feed people meth laced pizza or something.
Be like, all right, Morty, this gun shoots bad people. When do you shoot it? When I want to shoot bad people. And then Jeffrey Dahmer pops out of the gun.
Yeah,
Jeffrey Dahmer. That's like Family Guy style.
Season?
That's like Family Guy shenanigans. Look at this. Look at everything you've done. It makes no sense.
Duke lets out a high-pitched laugh.
Crazy. You know what's crazy? Clearly me, but also some of the other things going on in town.
Clearly me.
Duke gestures at me.
Ask him what he saw out there.
Duke turns to face me, swinging his hand from me to Leo.
Go on, tell him. He doesn't believe me. Because, you know, it's incredible and also unbelievable. Because the town does not have enough people to, like, fill a tree with people hanging from it. So that would have to be, like, from a different era.
The corner of Duke's eye seems to have a mind of its own. He's a Cyclops. There's some kind of living creature under the surface, writhing around.
Twitching like crazy.
Nah, that's just my flea, Daniel. He, you know, gives me some trouble every now and again with my eye. But, you know, I just gotta smoke him out, so let me just take another hit of this giant joint.
Do you say his flea? Got a flea under his eye?
Yeah, his pet flea. A flea in the corner of his eye.
He's got a spider living in his ear.
I don't know. I think if you look
and a frog in his tummy.
Duke and Brian, it's more like Duke is George and Brian is Lenny from Of Mice and Men.
Oh yeah.
Was it a little crazy? With the wanted murders everywhere that we'll never mention again because they weren't real, or were a vision of a different era.
I stare at Duke.
Because you believe headcanons, which I do. I write a lot of fan fiction, so I have a lot of headcanons.
I stare at Duke, entranced until Brian gives me a quick jerk.
I saw a body and there were gunshots, but isn't that just like a normal Sunday here in Echo?
Duke
I mean,
giggles.
I think he was a horse rustler.
Duke giggles. He's like,
and that ain't the house. That ain't the house of it. Just house of it. Yeah, I'm doing good. And that ain't the house. Are people eating each other, you know, and then serve them up at the diner, you know, like that thing that you clearly saw.
Yeah, one
with,
shot,
you know,
James.
jaundice.
Yeah, where he shot Jaundice.
Which I'm still
Yeah,
thinking of that
Jaundice.
name. You think I'm crazy for shooting Jaundice? But if you knew, she was trying to serve man. Literally, like the Twilight Zone version.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last show I watched, because I'm old.
But how the hell are we supposed to know why that is?
Leo leans forward as far as his bonds let him, eyes wide, almost pleading with Duke.
Well, I did a seance. I got my crystal ball, read some tarot cards, and all signs pointed to you. So, I used empirical evidence-based scientific methods of fortune telling to blame this all on you, Leo. I mean, also, it started when you guys got here. So, two things happening in quick succession. Again, always causality.
And then Duke's also like, I did extensive Google research on the toilet.
I listened to some Joe Rogan podcasts, and he was like, vaccines, those are for dum-dums.
I listened to a lot of Alex Jones.
Yeah, remember, 100% of everybody who thinks that correlation is causation dies.
Also, then I got some Art Bell going. They got some archives still online, so you can listen to the old ones.
Yeah. Duke lowers his voice dangerously, leaning back towards Leo. Their noses almost touching.
Ooh, ooh.
That doesn't mean nuzzle, nuzzle, nuzzle.
Leo speaks haltingly back at the weasel.
Does this?
Duke suddenly pulls the...
Gives him a little kiss. Give him a little kiss on the side of the snow.
Duke suddenly pulls the gun out from the waistband of his pants and points it straight at my face. I'm barely able to comprehend it before Brian jumps to the side with me, out of the way of the gun.
Nice, Duke! Don't point it at me!
Leo almost stands up to his toes with the chair still attached to his body. His fur bristled out all over his body. Duke lowers the gun, though, still watching Leo. Leo slumps back in the chair, trembling.
Just stop, Duke! I don't know anything!
Duke stares for a moment at the wolf, frowning. Then he looks down at his gun as if contemplating something. Slowly he looks at me and points the gun at Leo's head. My heart jumps into my throat. Brian has to hold on to me as I try to hold out my hands.
Wait, what are you doing? A crazy redneck with a gun and gonna murder more people, even though I saw you kill Jaundice earlier? What? I am amazed by this turn of events.
Mm-hmm.
Just you, Otter, so I don't need this hot-piece wolf, around anymore.
Go for it, Chase.
Yeah, go for it, Chase.
Okay, sorry, everything got quiet. I'm like, oh no, did it disconnect? But okay. What?
Hi, Duke.
It's you I was seeing before you got here, and it was you I saw sneaking around at night, calling out for you, Leo, Leo, which is very romantic-like, but why can't I find a man that does that? Man, you start skulking around at night, yelling my name. Oh,
Leo! Oh, Leo! Wherefore art my Leo?
You know that wherefore means why, right?
No.
What the hell are you talking about? Again, context would be good. I should probably be taking notes for, my project, because this is some newsworthy event. Oh, nope, he'll never think about it.
Yep, this is an insane twist. I feel myself start to panic as I see Duke's fingers tighten around the trigger.
I don't know what's happening, which is a statement I can make at any time in any situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Chase.
Leo's doing his best to keep his head out of the line of fire, leaning his head as far to the side as he can. Duke doesn't seem to be paying attention to him, though, instead keeping his eyes on me.
Just explain to me why you think it's me. Maybe I can help.
Like, didn't he just do that?
That seems to get some sort of reaction out of Duke as he lowers the gun just a bit to Leo's crotch. The problem now,
No, the jewels!
the problem now, though, is that it's pointed at Leo's chest. There's no way he can dodge that. Duke is studying me closely, as if trying to figure out what to say.
You know, this has happened before. Like what happened to my grandpappy, Clifford Tibbets. You know, also known as Cornelius Hallowich. You know, because he was a fancy Euro type.
My mind races.
The mass hysteria thing? The thing I was supposed to be looking into and didn't? Like 100 years ago? You know, I heard there was like a prostitute cat and like a gold mining badger and a really cute fox slutting around. You know, those kind of things? Okay, yeah, that's right. See, how did you know that? Other than this is information I've already told you earlier.
It's like, you mean publicly available information?
That he didn't read.
He looks closely at me, but I'm relieved as he finally takes the gun away from Leo to be pointed at the ground.
I did some research before coming here. Not enough. And it's definitely not enough. But I'm doing a news report, news story on Echo for school. You know, and I just came here blindly and just started pointing cameras at things, and somehow it didn't just magically materialize in my paws.
Yeah, you know, I just walked up and started walking up to trailers and sticking a camera through their windows to see what kind of what's going on. Duke is still...
but then I went to the old school with Kudzu, and he just kept peeing everywhere. Like, it was like 5 times, and that was just on the ground floor.
Yeah. All right. Duke is still eyeing me suspiciously.
This is like when Chase just like reaches into his pocket and pulls out the entire presentation. Here, let me show you. It's a whole whiteboard and everything. Starts talking about it.
He puts
because he just has hammer space.
Yeah,
and that's why he has to wear cargo shorts, because, you know, the pockets are tactical.
Mm-hmm. He's got a black tie, short cut hair. He's going to be doing his crazy impression. That one meme.
So you know about the murderer, even though Sam acted in self-defense?
I'm trying to think
back.
back.
I totally know all stuff. I did my homework, I swear, teacher.
Yeah. I tried to think back to my research about what exactly happened. It was a while ago now, and I'd planned to fill in the gaps when I got back to Pueblo.
You know, in that whole 5 minutes he has, because it's due Monday, and he's going to be driving for 8 hours. So yeah, he's really going to get this thing done.
Oh yeah, totally.
It happened in the mine. Yeah, it did. And then people went nuts. But mostly that was just because Sam had a boot head, and that just wouldn't quit.
I wait, but Duke doesn't go on, filling the air with an awkward silence. I can see Leo's head looking back and forth, probably trying to come up with a way to get out of this. I hope he's figuring something out, because I have no idea how we're going to do that.
But do you know why? You know, like the main question that was the heart of my project. You know, could you just go ahead and give me the answer to that so I could just jot that down and totally get an A off of your hard work, Duke?
Yeah. I'm trying to sift through Duke's psyche to figure out why he thinks this might be related to Leo and I. Duke's breathing has leveled off, and with his calmness, there's a feeling that we've managed to ride out the storm.
My grandpappy, which I will again cite, is Clifford Tibbets. The strangest relations that we have between these two games. But he lived through it all and stayed in the town after, because, you know, he couldn't get enough Sammy, and also his father cut him off. So we have no European fortunes. I
notice Leo's not looking around anymore. Instead, his eyes are trained on the door behind me and slightly to my right. I went to look back, but Duke seems distracted right now, so I try to keep him engaged.
Yeah, it happened weeks after the body was found. Sort of built up, and then all hell broke loose. Like there was a Union strike busters, one version William Gashon. It's crazy stuff.
Leo nods his head slightly. Eyes still on the floor, and my heart leaps into my chest as I realize what might be happening.
Do you know why that was?
Duke,
Again, behold my journalism powers. I will get to the bottom of this
Duke
by
shakes,
asking a crazy meth head with a gun trained on me.
Duke shakes his
The
head.
best journalism there is.
Go for it, Duke.
There's something bad in this town. Earth's bad, air's bad, everything's tainted. So you think it's something in the air or water or something? I did notice a lot of pregnant girls, so there's probably something in the water.
A lot of pregnant girls.
I lean a bit to the left and to try to keep Duke's eyes focused on me, away from Leo or the door.
I don't know about that. The girls are just always pregnant in this town. It's part of the curse. The witch's curse that, was unrelated to the hysteria. But my grandpappy thought it's because they didn't catch the murderer, even though in every route he knows who that Sam did it. But, I guess it planted some seeds of bad dirt.
Duke looks at the ceiling.
And grew some terrible. And it wasn't like the things Brian grows in his secret path behind his trailer. No. It wasn't until they killed the guy that it stopped, even though Sam lives until a vague point between the 60s and 70s. So that obviously is not true.
When he gets run over by Sydney's dad.
Yeah, that's why I think Janice is killing Dale is because, she's haunted. She thinks she's haunted by Sam, even though he's in Chase's head. So she's like, "Oh well, I got to kill an otter to appease the, ghost cat."
That's news to me. I didn't read anywhere that the murderer had been caught. Duke looks back down at me.
So I don't know what it is. If it's a murder or guilt or not catching up to what someone did that wrong, like me and Brian, we've done lots of murders, but hasn't triggered hysteria yet.
I hear the softest sound of a footpad against the floor behind me, and pray that none of the others did.
But it started when you got here, so you gotta forgive me for wondering if one of you did something bad. Like, wasn't there supposed to be 7 friends in this group? That's like the last permanent memory I had before the meth kicked in. Wasn't there like 7 of you?
Duke starts to raise the gun again.
And brought that guilt back to this poisoned land to grow the seeds again. Even though you've only been here a couple of days, and these things started long before you showed up, so none of this makes sense. But I'm Duke. I'll unravel the supernatural.
Duke doesn't
I'm a ghost hunter. Got my partner Brian.
Duke doesn't sound like himself at all. Not even his recently crazed self. Still.
That's because right now I'm Professor Duke. I've got let me grab my corncob pipe and I'll just start whittling.
Yeah, he's got his little bow tie on. I am Professor Duke. Still, though I don't want to admit it, I start to have an idea of what Duke might be getting at.
Finally.
How all this fits into our history.
What was that kid's name a while back that died in the lake? The other otter of your group? That clearly you, fat, out of shape otter, could best in mortal combat? Easily and get away with it? She wasn't murdered. You sure about that? I mean, it's an otter drowning. That's very suspicious. We probably should have told the readers about this in the beginning. Yeah. Yes.
But I'm not, am I? I swallow hard, aware that some of the pieces don't fit, despite how disturbing the implications are.
But that was years ago. Why didn't it start back then? Why now?
Duke
A
shrugs.
pertinent question. Actually, he actually asked a good question.
Yeah. Duke shrugs.
Maybe you wasn't guilty till now. Maybe kids don't understand what they've done. You know, murder, that very ambiguous crime that all children do. You know, when I was your age, when I was that age, I like murdered 3 people, you know, just for the fun of it. And then I shot my old lady just to, you know, because she made me slow. And then I did more cocaine.
Yeah, you know.
Or was that a Johnny Cash song? I can't remember. Maybe kids don't understand what they've done. Maybe it's because you left and it made it angry. Because I'm also now attributing sentience to this mysterious force that is taking hold of the town.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't murdered. I double pinky swear. I totally did not murder that SOB Sydney who I hated. Using my otter foo.
Mm-hmm.
You see it happen? Well, I did it, but you know, I mean, his stupid otterback was in the way, so you know, I didn't have a good view of the murder that I was doing. No, but the person that did would never do that. Ka-chunk. Oh, hey TJ, what's it like under that bus? You liking being under that bus? Ka-chunk, ka-chunk. So am I talking to the wrong guy now? Who was he? I bet it was that Flynn. You know, those reptiles. I hear they're running the government.
I think it was a big brown bear. Like one that might be here with us right now.
Oh, gasp. I look over at Leo again, swallowing hard.
Who was it? I bet it was Carl. You know, he just shot Sydney so high and then was like, oh, let's play the breathing game. And then, you know, held him down with his horns.
You know, the
That's
whole
a
reason,
likely story.
the reason Carl would have done it is because Sydney took his weed.
No way, dude. Duke starts to raise the gun again, and what happens over the course of the next few minutes is too fast for me to comprehend until it's over. Leo explodes out from his sitting position, face twisted with rage as he bares his teeth in a full-on wolf snarl. Though his feet are handcuffed to the legs of the chair, he's still able to lunge off the ground with his feet. He launches
See, Duke, this is why you need the bondage table.
He launches
You need to
himself.
invest.
He launches himself at Duke, slamming into the weasel with a painful crunch of flesh on flesh and metal on concrete. I gasp and watch as Leo starts ripping into Duke with his teeth. Duke screams and flails his arms around, apparently forgetting his weapon as it flies from his fingers. The gun slides across the ground to tap gently against the wall just 5 feet from me. Brian keeps a tight grip on me, though, and that's when I hear a clicking sound behind me. Brian does too, and he turns sideways, allowing me to see the source as well. And there stands Kudzu, both hands on Leo's handgun as he points it up at Brian's head. It clicks uselessly.
Oh, you gotta turn it sideways. That way it's a kill shot.
Oh yeah. It clicks uselessly, though, and Kudzu's face is a mixed mask of terror, desperation, and confusion.
Oh, safety!
Leo is still struggling on the ground with a screaming Duke, lifting his mouth from the weasel's arm to shout at Kudzu. Kudzu's eyes snap to the gun in his hands, but Brian's already moving. He kicks at Kudzu's
Leo
hands.
having a mouthful of Duke, that's not how I was gonna picture it, but there it is.
He kicks at Kudzu's hands and it connects violently, sending the gun flying into the air to clap against the ceiling. Brian lets go of me at that point, reaching out to catch the gun.
Alright, big decision.
Is this the one we should save before?
I don't think so, but I guess we could. Should we?
Yes, because one of them is a game over.
Oh,
All right.
really? Save here.
Alright, so what are we gonna do?
Should we help Kudzu or go for Luke's gun? because we can try to reason through this. If Kudzu got the gun kicked out of his hands, and Duke is going for what? Reaching for the gun, and we try to
he's
help.
just getting mauled.
Yeah, so I mean, like, Chase isn't going to be able to do anything if he goes to try and help Kudzu.
So the smart thing to do would be go for Duke's gun, which is being unattended and basically ignored by Brian.
Yeah, and then kill Brian.
But should we do the bad ending right here and just go help Kudzu and then come back if we've all saved?
I mean, I'm quick saved.
You want to do that?
Because I'm trying to remember which one is the game over one.
I think that help Kudzu is the least useful thing, so let's go with help Kudzu. That's probably the game over. I tried to ram my elbow back into the bear's crotch, but he's not quite that tall. Instead, I get him just above his balls, and get no more than a grunt out of him. He still misses the gun, though, and it falls back into the ground with a loud clatter. Kudzu bends over and picks it up, but Brian's already kicking at him again, and this time it connects with the raccoon's face. Kudzu slumps to the ground, though, and I'm not sure if he's unconscious or dead from how hard Brian kicked him. I jump after the gun just as Brian does. We reach it at the same time, and though I'm able to grab it first, Brian yanks it from my hand easily. I lay there in front of Kudzu, realizing I've just missed our only chance. There's a soft click behind my head. Safety.
No!
I start to turn to see what... You just get shot, bud.
It just goes straight to... Bad end! This one you didn't even get a game over. It's just assume you're dead.
You're dead.
Yeah, you just have a block screen, then a tile screen. That's all you get.
Congratulations, you died.
Just the "you died" sign comes up.
Yeah.
Let's go for Duke's gun. Because the safety's off, and we probably sort of know how to use it. Because no one's fighting over Duke's gun, I realize that it might be our best chance. I lunge in the opposite direction. Clumsily, I scoop up the weasel's gun, turning it over in my hands until I'm holding it the right way.
He shoot himself in the face.
No.
It's like, which end of the bullets come out of again? Let me just give it a quick test run. Brian!
Screen goes black again.
Also, that otter has a gun. But, man, this Leo, he's treating my gun all good. Like, you should take lessons. You should take notes, Brian.
Alright, Duke, go for it.
Did that not pick up?
Leo's still tearing away at the weasels.
Brian, my gun!
Leo's still tearing away at the weasels as Duke holds...
Missing the word arm.
Yeah. As Duke holds them up in defense. I turn around, crouched against the wall, as I see Brian standing over a downed Kudzu. I can only pray that this hasn't killed him. I point the gun at Brian just as he turns around to face me. Seeing that he's about to get shot, the bear lunges at me, his massive paws up, stretching out towards me. Luckily for me, the gun is loaded.
I figured it would be.
Keep trying to keep myself...
that would make sense for Duke to forget to actually put bullets in his gun. Because he's walking around the whole night, threatening everybody, with an empty gun.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be really fun if it just had, he pulls the trigger and it shoots out, this cigarette or joint.
Yeah.
It's like...
No, just the bang flag.
You pull the trigger and just a little flame comes out of the muzzle.
You gave me the trick gun again!
It's like Looney Tunes gun.
Trying to keep myself steady, I manage to find the safety and flick it off. I shoot him right in the face. The sound is so loud in the tiny room that my hearing goes out for a moment. Brian crumples to the floor and the room goes quiet. But only for a moment. An earthly howling sound comes from the bear as he slowly props himself up on his hands, looking back up at me. For a moment, I wonder if the evil powers of Echo have brought him back to life somehow. But no.
That would make sense for the setting.
Yeah.
It really would.
But no, there's a bloody hole just above his blunt nose. I can see the white bones peeking out from the red. Somehow the bullet hadn't even pierced his skull.
So where did the bullet go?
No, Brian is just literally bulletproof.
Shakily, I raise the gun again.
I mean, in real life, bear skulls are like one of the there are, and like, yeah, you need a insanely powerful gun to even pierce one.
Yeah,
it's like
bears are
standard pistol is just not going to get it done.
Yeah, if you just have a little survival rifle like a 22, you're screwed.
You shoot it in the dick. It's like, okay, I'm done. I'm not done. I'm done. I'm not fighting anymore.
You blow one of the bear's nuts off.
Oh.
You just have to try to remember your bear training and aim for his liver so he'll bleed out. Because we all have had bear training, right?
Oh yeah,
that's the standard thing in everybody's school.
I'm now thinking. I'm now just recalling some videos, like some guys like campfire or like his campsite, and it ends up like whipping himself with the nuts, and he just like falls over and like. Oh, oh.
Well, he shouldn't have been trying to steal that picnic basket.
Oh, God damn it, Yogi! Or no, Boo Boo. Oh, Boo Boo! Oh, Boo Boo!
I'm gonna see if I can find that video later. Shakily, I raise the gun again, but Brian rolls away to the door with a speed that shouldn't be possible for a bear his size. He's gone. I stare for a moment, wondering if I should run after him, but a snarl next to me as I point the gun at Duke. But a snarl next to me as me pointing. What is this sentence? But a snarl next to me as I'm pointing the gun at Duke's head instead. Okay.
Hey, Kaiser, did you write the screen?
Wow. Wow. You're so mean.
Throwing shade already, huh?
Leo's still tearing into his arm as Duke hollers at the top of his lungs, trying to cover his face.
Leo, stop! I've got the gun on him. Which, as I just proved, does a lot of good. I mean, it's such a good gun. Look how dead Brian is. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait.
Yep, Brian is totally dead. 100%. Don't worry about it, Leo. Leo looks up at me with his wild eyes, pausing for a moment before slowly letting go of the mustaled's arm, bloody drool hanging from his chin. I try to ignore that and keep the gun trained on Duke's head as Leo flops to the side on his chair. After seeing how little the bullet had affected Brian, I'm not so confident it'll do much damage to Duke.
He's got a shit gun.
Maybe bears just have thicker skulls, but I'm more worried that the gun is just shit. Duke doesn't move though, as he lays back against the concrete, eyes closed, gasping for air.
Yeah, Duke put the wrong size bullet in it, so it barely shoots. It's like, oh, oops.
His arms are at his sides, both of them leaking blood onto the ground. Leo really did a number on him. He definitely needs to go to the hospital. A hand touches my shoulder and I jump. I look back to see that it's Kudzu. Sorry, you okay? Leo's gun hangs loosely from one of his hands.
Come on, you can look.
Kudzu, you saved our fucking lives. I grin at him as...
Still there?
I grin at him as I almost sob with relief. I want to hug him, but I have to keep the gun on Duke. Of course, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't stop him back when he took you. I wasn't sure what to do. He touches my arm, he touches my shoulder again, and I can feel him trembling. Don't worry about it. We're all right now.
Can someone get me out of these handcuffs, please? My arms are me.
Killing you? You ripped mine apart!
Duke is practically sobbing now, curling up on his side to hold his arms to his chest.
Fuck you, asshole.
Leo spits at him as he tries to adjust his position on the floor. Where are the keys, Duke? Duke takes a shuddering breath and holds it for a few seconds before answering.
Right.
Gudzu walks over and kneels next to the weasel, shifting through his pockets.
Keep an eye on the door, Chase, in case Blubber Gut comes back.
I try to angle myself so I can keep an eye on both the door and Duke, even though I'm pretty sure the latter is through at this point.
Yeah, Duke ain't gonna be fighting back anymore.
Yeah.
Shredded
Gudzu pulls the small metal key out before moving over to Leo, fumbling around for a good while before the handcuffs finally drop to the ground. Leo kneels there for a moment, wringing out his wrists.
You okay?
He smiles at me.
Yep, it's Phone Kaiser. Good old Discord.
It died on you again. Damn it.
Yep.
I'm a little sore, but I think I'll be alright.
He gets unsteadily to his feet, taking a pair of handcuffs up with him before bending quickly to give me a kiss on the head.
I'm so happy you're okay, sis. And thank you, Gudzu.
He slaps the raccoon on the back before turning to his attention to the weasel. Duke notices and quickly curls up tighter.
I was just trying to help everyone. Ah!
Leo grabs him by his bloodied arms before yanking him violently to his feet. The weasel screams double as the wolf twists the arm behind his back, handcuffing them.
Why the hell do you have so many handcuffs anyway?
Duke starts sobbing again until Leo whips him around and slaps him across the face.
Well, he and Brian, they like their items. What can they say?
Duke sways, stunned by the power of the blow, before Leo brings the hand back and hits him on the other cheek.
Double slap! Shut the fuck up!
Leo ignores Kudzu as he pulls the chair back up and throws Duke into it.
Duke?
He throws Dio on it. He throws Duke into it so violently that it almost tips over.
Please, I'm sorry. Now that I don't have a position of strength in this, I'm just gonna give up and just be like your guys' bitch now. If you have like a bondage table, you can put me on one and then cook me. That'd be great. I'm really into that.
Duke cowers as Leo raises his hand again. I realize how tightly I'm holding onto the gun, and though I'm pointing it at the ground now, I'm sure to take my finger off the trigger. While Leo's violence is a little disturbing, it's almost comforting to have him throw his weight around after how the weasel had threatened us. Kudzu, on the other hand, doesn't look comforted at all. He's still trembling from the earlier fight, and he's pulling at the fur on his chin as he watches Leo. Careful, Leo. Let's just take him into the cops, or something. Kudzu looks over his shoulder at the door. Going to Peyton was probably a better idea, now that I realize how messed up everyone is.
Yeah. I mean, like the thing I said, Chase, the smart one? Wait, when I came back from Discord, did we play like an opposite game or something?
Yeah, no, suddenly he's all smart. I mean, if that monster that they're all talking about isn't real, it wouldn't have would have been better to risk that than get involved with these idiots. I hadn't even thought about the supposed thing keeping everyone from leaving the town. It seems silly now that we'd let a stupid story like that keep us here. Leo doesn't seem to be listening.
Tick, Duke. Why shouldn't I just kill you right now?
Leo! Leo looks over his shoulder at us finally, shaking his head at Kudzu conspiratorially. Kudzu goes silent as Leo goes back to staring down the weasel. Are they doing good cop, bad cop?
It might be.
Not intentionally.
Violent cop, passive cop.
Now explain to us what the hell is going on.
Leo leans in closer with his bloody muzzle and Duke cringes back.
Tell the truth, and maybe I'll let you go.
They should just like paint like a whole lot of red all over like Leo's face, such as where he just like practically ate Duke's arms.
Oh yeah.
Well, this isn't B-Stars.
Leo glances at me.
I won't kill you, at least.
He's trying to make it clear to me that he's just trying to scare Duke. At least that's what I hope he's doing.
I already explained. Because, my crazy ramblings about, Clifford Tibbets, my grandfather, who is in the spin-off game everyone should play. He didn't tell me any of this, but I somehow know it.
Duke's eyes dart back and forth between us. The way he's kicking his feet around with a high-pitched, whiny voice makes me think of a child. A really ugly, malnourished child. I still feel a little bad for him.
Okay, I think Chase isn't an otter. He's a tree because he's just casting shade everywhere.
Go for it, Leo.
Remind me, because I was distracted.
Kudzu sidles up next to me and sets his hand on my shoulder. You want to watch from the door? I touch hand in acknowledgement and turn around to face the door. I don't really think Brian's going to be coming back, though.
No, Chase, they just don't want you to watch the beating. Your young, innocent eyes just, can't handle the brutality that's coming.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I told you, something's bad happening, and we need to figure out what. Because all my murders, I got away scot-free. So it can't be me. I'm off the list.
Oh, yeah, it's his specialty, too.
That's right. Oh, yeah, but how did kidnapping us help anything?
Well, Leo, it is Saturday night, and, Brian and I needed some fun. So we're like, oh, let's make it a foursome.
Sounds good to me.
Duke sighs deeply, and I glance over my shoulder to see him slumping in defeat.
Last time this happened, it might have been because of a murder. Not the murder caused by a murder. Not the murder, but the guy that got away with the murder. Like how Sydney's dad murdered Samuel Ayers and got away with it for all those years and never faced a bit of punishment from the government.
There's a moment of silence.
Okay.
Luke's tone demands that Duke goes on.
So the guilt from the guy, or the worry in the town, or just spirits, heck, I don't know. But all that, but it just came together and make everything go crazy. Especially me.
It's not the meth, it's the crazy.
It just like jumps up, his legs like kick out. It's like,
Okay, sure. But how does this have anything to do with us?
I saw the other sneaking around town before you guys got here. Because, my eyes can't be deceiving. All the drugs I take definitely couldn't have hallucinated.
I look back again and see Duke looking at me. So is Leo.
So I thought he might have something to do with it all, but it was my only lead. Because I am Detective Duke, Spirit Detective. Behold my finger gun.
Detective
and a guy with too many eyes. It's the whole thing we do.
Duke bad.
The Echo anime.
Yeah. The intro is just all the characters yelling.
Yeah,
Duke,
that's all it is.
Duke doesn't respond
Okay,
this time.
back on the computer.
Oh, nice. I look back again and see that he's still looking at me.
What is it? I mean, other than I'm the object of desire that everyone just wants so much. Aren't I such a good looker? You told me yourself, Leo, that you saw him sneaking around too.
It was someone else.
I mean, have you seen Dale? He got on the Ozempic. He's really slimmed down.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell do you know that? Because, facial, being able to tell the difference of faces as it's on Asperger's, and I got it. Or I'm just really racist against otters and all otters look the same. What are you guys talking about? Kudzu, can you watch the door?
I finally turn around. Leo leans one hand on the back of Duke's chair as he sighs.
If you remember, Chase, I told you about how I thought I saw someone out my window that looked like you. It was my fascination coming to life. It was me hallucinating very, very strongly because of Duke's jokes.
Leo turns to glare back onto Duke.
He gave me drugs. It made me think I was a deer and made me think that you were there. God accidentally told him about it too. All the drugs and that.
Wait, no. Chase should be the deer, and Leo's still a wolf, but he just dreams he's Legoshi. He's like, oh no, I beat Chase's leg off. But we both saw it. Isn't that a bit strange? Like, if two people hallucinate something, then that makes it real.
Some altar came by the town that looked like Chase. What the hell else was it? You think we can just conjure up?
It's a guilt elemental.
Guilt elemental.
Yeah.
It's a guilt golem.
Leo glances back at me, and I feel like there's some doubt in his eyes.
I mean, you weren't here, right? Did you sneak back before everyone? Like, are you the Flash?
Yes, Leo, I've been stalking you.
Did you like run
To be
here
fair,
from...
it was either going to be me or Kudzu going through your trash constantly, so, he was looking for
run here?
treasures.
Did you run here and then run back and then drive here after you picked up TJ?
Yeah, somehow.
Universe.
Of course I wasn't. You silly dog. What's next? You're going to say I'm a murderer? But silly.
I know. Just making sure.
Leo turns back to Duke.
Why the hell? Why would that mean anything anyway? If he's the Flash and a superhero, just makes me want him more.
He's super auto. Duke looks around, visibly clenching his toes.
I've heard stuff about doubles, doppelgangers or something. Even though they haven't shown up in the smoke room at all yet.
Doppelgangers.
Sure, but people talk about back then, see themselves and stuff. Because, G's are overrated. I'm going to drop all my G's.
Okay. So, if we believe that sheet, why would it mean he has anything to do with anything?
Well, my grandpappy said the guy who did it was in 2 or 3 places at once, depending on your route choices. So, clearly he's a player character and chose different routes.
There's a moment of silence as we all absorb that bit of information.
Sounds like your ancestors, your grandpappy was on drugs too, Duke.
Well,
Seems
he
like a
did
load of
do a
shit
lot of
to
drugs
me.
and then thought he was a wizard.
Duke jumps up in his seat.
I'm just telling you all I know.
So, what's your solution to all this then? Shoot Jess?
Yeah, just kill everyone.
Well, you see, we should all go pick up the new game called The Smoke Room, and we should all play that. I don't know, it stopped when they got the guy, even though Sam is the guy and he lives.
Even though
Many
you just
years.
said they never caught him? You lying bastard.
Duke cowers in the chair, then glances at me. Leo follows his gaze, and his eyes turn steely. Duke seems to notice Leo's sudden change in demeanor, but before he can do anything, he gets a massive slap on the wolf. Leo, stop it. Duke immediately starts sobbing again and curls in on himself.
Chase. They is my like
It seems
Oh, Leo, everyone just wants me. What can I say?
it did seem that way. Did Duke think the only way to stop all of the problems in his town was to kill me? Look, Kudzu tries a different approach, his voice much gentler than Leo's. The problem with your theory is that Chase hasn't killed anyone, right, Chase?
Well, of course not.
Of course not.
Of course not. So maybe we
That's
need
like
to
a
rethink.
voice.
So maybe we need to rethink things a little, huh?
Or maybe he can do that. Or in a little hole 6 feet deep. We're going back to my van. Then we're gonna get the hell out of here.
If we can. I'm not sure about that thing. I'm still not sure about that thing the mayor was talking about.
What?
A monster or something. The mayor told us it's killing people that are trying to leave. Leo
Yeah, his
stares.
name is Brian.
Brian's just teleporting around Echo, murdering people as they try to
Oh
leave.
god, that will be a nightmare.
No,
He
they
just-
just have their friendly neighborhood. Dang it, now I can't think of the word.
He just walks out of the shadows.
Big
And
Godzilla thing.
Kaiju?
Kaiju, thank you. Yeah, they just got their friendly neighborhood kaiju, just, patrolling.
Though, I mean, you don't even need a kaiju to stop someone's car. Brian just walks out in front of it, and the car crashes around his bulk.
I mean, he is bulletproof.
Brian turns out to be a Kryptonian.
It'll be like all the really crappy animes out there. They'll like hit Brian in the face, and it'll just turn out he's a robot underneath or some shit like that.
Terminator Brian.
It's like, have we seen any weird technology in this game so far? Nope. He's just a
No.
fucking android.
Actually, it turns out he's an automaton, and then the guy from the intro of Helldivers 2 walks on. Look familiar?
No, he got alien superpowers. The alien put him in him.
All right, Leo, go for it.
How's the town really gone?
Kudzu shrugs.
He ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
There were bodies.
Jesus.
Leo looks around.
Well, it's still. If there is anything, we'll be fine if we leave in a car.
The motel is closer. We can use my car instead, even though we've learned that the two places are across the street from each other. So my car is just too far away. It's like 3 extra steps.
Sure.
Duke is still staring at me with a hard look.